Rolex is the king of watches. There's no other brand out there that's more revered, desired, loved, or just freaking well known by, the world, the people, the general public, okay? But RNG freaking Rolexes are just like tool watches. They don't even have like the best finishing out there. Like IWC, they finish their movements better. And freaking Cartier is more luxurious. They're boring, they're freaking too safe. They never take any risks. All their watches look exactly the same. Okay, fine. You got me. You got me. Those things are true. But just because that's true doesn't mean I'm wrong. Let's talk about King Charles. Remember King Charles? He was Prince Charles for most of my life, but now he is the king. Is King Charles the richest man in the UK? No. Is he the smartest man in the UK? No.
King Charles is more stupid than even he predicted.
Is he the best looking man in the UK? Hell no. But you know what he is? He's the king. And it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, if you stand in front of King Charles, you bend the knee. There's an inherent power that comes from having a title like the king. And you know good and well that Rolex has that title. And people hate that. Other people love that. Rolex may not be the best watch in the world, but Rolex knows how to run a watch company better than any other watch brand. You can grab some guy off the street in freaking Malaysia or a CEO off the green of a golf course in freaking Beverly Hills, California, or you can grab a marquee off an estate in the south of France. And all three of those people are gonna know what a freaking Rolex is. Chances are all three of those people are gonna want a Rolex. Rolexes are so well known and so desired by everyone in the world, you can't even freaking buy them. In case you don't know, you can't just walk into a jewelry store and buy a Rolex. You have to go to an authorized dealer, and they won't sell you one. You have to talk them in to thinking you're worthy enough for a Rolex. Then they put your butt on a freaking waiting list for 2 to 20 years sometimes. But most people, they have to go to the gray market. They have to buy it from somebody else, usually a flipper. That's how I got my Rolex. It's not illegal to do that. It's just highly frowned upon. But if you have to have one, that's your option. That's what you got to do. And I've heard if you take all the Rolexes that are for sale at retail, the ones you can't buy, and then you take all the ones in the gray market and you mix them together and into this like amalgam of Rolex, and you shake it out and you see how much the average Rolex costs each year. It's $13,000. $13,000. That is a freaking phenomenally high amount of money. I know a lot of you watching this video are like, $13,000 is nothing to me. I'm so happy for you. For the other 99.9% of the people in the world, that's like unobtainable. I come from the freaking retro video game collecting community, and everybody complains about how high the prices are. The most expensive game I know of in the world is like $25,000. But like the average Rolex costs $13,000? We need to put that in perspective. Things are different in watch world. Should you buy a freaking Rolex? And let me preface all the rest of the video with this. Do not go into debt to buy a luxury item. Never, ever, ever do that. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. A lot of people buy stuff and they go into debt to get something like a watch to impress people. Let me tell you something. People that are surrounded by luxury goods, their tastes change real fast. They move ahead a lot faster than the rest of us when it comes to fashion and trends and things like that. And you don't want to be paying interest on a watch that was the cool watch 3 years ago. Don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. That being said, you got $30,000 sitting in an account somewhere, you're good, all your retirement counts are set, car's paid off. Should you buy a Rolex? At retail? Yes, 100%. There's literally no reason not to. From the gray market, we'll have to talk about that later. But at retail, you can't go wrong. Even if you don't even freaking want a Rolex and you have an opportunity to buy one at retail price, it's free money. You can literally just take the Rolex and just go to a gray market dealer and flip it to them and make free money. Free money, couple grand, maybe even double up if you have like a Daytona or something like that. It's free. There's really literally no reason not to do it. That's the reason that they're so expensive on the gray market, is because people they just want free money. So yeah, Absolutely. And if you do really want a Rolex and you get one at retail, they're free. They don't cost any money. I don't know of any real Rolexes that really depreciate that much. At least not the modern ones. They typically appreciate. They kind of keep up with inflation. So if you just got the money like sitting in a savings account, not doing anything, might as well just keep the money on your wrist, not do anything with it. Now, if you never sell the watch, yeah, you did spend a bunch of money on it, okay? Like, yeah, you're paying to wear it every day. I have on my phone an app, and every day I log the watch I wear. It's called Wrist Track. This is not sponsored, by the way. And right here, I have my Rolex Submariner. Now, I've had the watch before I had this app, okay? So this number isn't accurate, but right at the bottom it says the value. And it says how much is the cost per wear. How much has it cost you every time you wore this watch? $524. $524. That's how much I paid every time I've worn this watch. It's probably not that high. It's probably like more like in the 300s. But that's crazy. $300 every time I put on this watch. That gives me like heart palpitations thinking about it. $300 is a ton of money. I'm in the game collecting community. I have a gaming channel. You can see behind me all these video games. The Nintendo Switch 2 just came out. It was like $500. And people are just ranting and raving about how that's so freaking expensive and not worth it at all. And I'm like, buddy, I spent $600 every couple days I wear this watch. Like, perspective. Millions of people complaining about something that costs $500 that they're gonna get like thousands of hours of entertainment out of, and that's too expensive. And every time I put on a piece of jewelry, it costs me $300. Of course, that number will go down over time. Eventually one day, that number will be like, $10 when my grandkids wear this watch. But what about the gray market, where I got my Rolex on the gray market? I paid $13,100 for my 2024 Rolex Submariner. They're like just below $11,000 at retail. With tax, it would have made it about like almost $12,000. I paid $1,000-ish over the cost of the watch, and that was a pretty good deal. That was like a buddy deal I got. Paying $1,000 to like save a couple years of waiting around, and they might have been over $13,000 by the time it was my turn to get one from an authorized dealer. So is it worth it to go to a gray market dealer? For me, absolutely, 100%. See, my dad was a construction worker and he worked hard his entire life. And all the people he worked for and all the officers in the Army, when he was in the Army, they all wore Rolexes. And to him, to really know you've made it in life meant you had a Rolex. And he wanted one his whole life, and he could never afford it. When he hit his 70s, he ended up getting a Rolex. It was used, I think he was doing a job for a guy, and the guy didn't have enough money to pay him, and he ended up giving him a Rolex to settle the balance. My dad was proud of that. I remember going in stores and the Waffle House and gas stations, and he would just show people his Rolex. He was so proud of it. He finally made it. Then he had a stroke. Medical bills piled up, and he had to sell his Rolex. And he was heartbroken about that. So upset. One of the only times I ever saw him cry, maybe the only time I ever saw him cry. And for years and years and years, he kept saying, I'm gonna get another Rolex. I'm gonna get another Rolex. And he never did. And when I graduated from school, promised him, Dad, when I make it, I'll get you that Rolex. Time passed, and my father passed away. And the last thing he said to me in the hospital was, I wish I could have given you that Rolex. And I said to him, I wish I could have given you one. And we never got to do it. People talk about nostalgia. I'm surrounded by nostalgia. I'm in a game room with over 4,000 games. Memories galore. Every person that walks in here sees a game they played when they were a kid. They grab it off the shelf, and you can see those memories flooding back. We use the term nostalgia to refer to a fond memory or a happy time or a happy place. But the real definition of nostalgia is the pain from a stab wound that always hurts and never goes away. Nostalgia can be bittersweet, and it can be painful. I had a lot of negative nostalgia about Rolex, and I swore one day I would own one to fulfill what my dad wanted and to prove to myself that I could do it. In his words, that I had made it. So is it worth it for $13,100? Yeah, I would have paid 10 times that if I had to. I did it. In my dad's eyes, I made it. And I have to say, I feel like I made it too. There are benefits from wearing a Rolex that I have experienced that are outside just the value of the watch in terms of its monetary worth or its engineering or its history. Wearing a Rolex makes you feel important. Now, if you grew up well-to-do and you were surrounded by Rolexes and stuff, that none of this may apply to you. This is just a trinket. It's just a piece of jewelry that rattles around on your wrist. But for most people in the world, this is a symbol of an achievement. Maybe it's tied to an anniversary or the birth of a child, or in the case of my story, fulfilling a lifelong goal. When I wear this watch, I get a big confidence boost. I feel like no matter what I'm doing, I need to do it better because I'm wearing a freaking Rolex on my wrist. I'm better than that. When I play guitar, by the way, I'm a semi-professional guitarist when I'm performing, I tend to play better when I'm wearing a Rolex. I don't know why. I play better when I play on a nice guitar, not because it's a better guitar, because I feel obligated to live up to the guitar. I feel obligated to live up to the watch. And there are psychological studies that show wearing a nice watch gives you a confidence boost. That crap is true. I feel that all the time. I feel it right now. Can you put a value on that? And I'm active on forums. I'm active on the Watch Crunch app. I talk to people about watches all the time. And people are like, nobody cares about your watch. Nobody ever walks up to you and talks about your watch. And like, nobody cares. Just wear the watch for yourself. I don't want anybody to even know what kind of watch I'm wearing. That's not my experience at all. People walk up to me all the time and ask me about my watches, including my Rolex. I was at a kid's birthday party yesterday, and the father of the girl that was hosting the party saw my watch and struck up a conversation about it. We talked for like 3 hours about stuff, and we're gonna go hang out later. That's a new friend. I didn't walk up to him. We were at a birthday party with a bunch of people. He saw my watch from a distance and came over and struck up a conversation. That's a new relationship and a new friendship based off a watch. I've had people buy me drinks at bars because they liked my watch. I was just at a video game convention the other day where I was a special guest and I was buying a bunch of video games, and I walked up to a booth and the guy running the booth liked my watch, and we talked about it for a minute, and then I asked him how much he had on a game, and he said $370. And I said, I'm not really wanting to spend that much on that. Plus, that's a sealed game. And when I say sealed game, I mean brand new, unopened. I wanted an open copy. And he said, well, for you, I'll sell it to you like it's opened. He knocked $200 off the price. I paid less than half of what he wanted for it. And you may think I'm full of crap, but I promise you I'm not. Anybody else out there who wears a Rolex, in the comments, let me know if anybody has ever done anything like that because you were wearing a Rolex. There's a ton of mystique around Rolex, and you pay for that, but you do get rewards for it. That being said, let's talk about this Rolex. Let's talk about my 2024 Rolex. I'm gonna review it right now, and I'm gonna be brutally honest about it. All the things I've talked about, those are all subjective things. Let's talk about the objectivity of this watch. This is the newest model of the Rolex Submariner. It's from 2024. It's the most recent update to the movement that came out just a few years earlier. They changed some things about it. The old ones before this, I think those look a little better. I think they fit better. I think the proportions are better. But I think the movement in the newest one is certainly an upgrade. Right on the dial of this watch are 6 lines of text. That's an absolutely insane amount of information to put on the front of a watch. It looks like an instruction guide. People hate it. I kind of love it. They took all the cool crap about the watch, plastered it right on the front of the freaking dial, right on it. It's super busy. It kind of, to me, almost feels like you're wearing your university diploma around your neck. It's like, here's proof of all the cool freaking crap I did. Is that a flex? Yeah, of course it's a flex. Is it tacky? Oh yeah, super tacky. But that's okay. Rolex can get away with stuff like that. I don't think I could wear my diploma around my neck, but I'll wear Rolex's diploma on my wrist. It has 1,000 feet 300 meters of water resistance. We all know that. It is a superlative chronometer. It's officially certified with COSC and METAS and all the Swiss cartel that checks to see if you regulated your watch. It's got all the certifications, man. It keeps great time. I don't wear it every day. It runs down. It's probably not wound half the time, so I'm always setting it, so I don't know if it's within plus or minus 2 seconds a day. And honestly, even if it was like a minute or two, I don't think I would even notice. And that's okay. It's never let me down, I'll say that. And unlike the Rolex Submariners from the previous generation, this one has a bigger case coming in at 41 millimeters, which is actually a freaking lie. I measured it, it's not 41, it's 40.6. They round it up. That's not counting the lug guards or the crown, which nobody counts any freaking way, okay? The part you're gonna notice, the part that's not sticking out, 40.6 millimeter, which is right on the verge of how big I can wear. I've got a 6.5-inch wrist, lower end of average. I got big hands, so that helps make the watch look smaller, okay? 6.5-inch wrist, that's like right on the edge, okay? Right on the edge. It has a 21 millimeter lug width, which is absolute bullcrap. It fits the proportions of the watch, and I get it. But it doesn't really even matter that much because Rolex makes the best bracelets. They're the most comfortable bracelets. They have the quick adjust friggin' size thing on it. What's it called? The quick adjust system? The quick adjust system, that's what it's called. They've got that, and it works great. You can change the size of your watch in 10 seconds. You don't even need any tools. You just do it with your hands. The best tools of all. Mine stays on the bracelet all the time. It's the only watch I own, as a matter of fact, that I don't change the bracelets up on occasionally. I just leave it on there all the time. The lug length on the new Rolex Submariner is too long, in my opinion. It's got that thing where it sticks out too far on your wrist, it's too wide this way, okay? And when I look at it, under the light, I can see light coming in under the edges. It doesn't quite wrap around my wrist. I wish they were a little shorter, or I wish I could put a freaking NATO on it so you wouldn't notice it, but it does make the watch stand out more. It's a bigger presence here. You're getting more bling factor and less wear factor, I guess. Not to say it's not comfortable, but there's a little bit of a flaw in the design. I think it's a little bit of a flaw in the design. Finishing on the watch is top-notch, spectacular. I mean, it looks great. The edges and the lines are all perfect, and it's crisp, but it definitely looks like a tool watch. And this is a tool watch. It's a really nice tool, a really, really nice tool. It's like a hammer with a Brazilian rosewood handle and a logo painted by friggin' Rembrandt himself. It's beautiful. You feel really crappy slamming it in full speed to a concrete subfloor. That's what it is. It's a tool watch. It's made for diving. And divers, they don't just go snorkeling. We like to think of divers like snorkeling. No, they're between two cargo ships, welding hatches shut and stuff, scraping barnacles off the bottom of giant freighters. These people are working hard. They're busting their butts and they're banging things around. That's what this watch was designed for. I'm gonna wear it, buddy. I'm not keeping it locked up in the safe. The thing I notice the most about Rolexes over Tudors and a lot is the thickness of the rehaut. That's the space between the dial and the bottom of the sapphire crystal glass. It's really tall. There's just a lot of air in there. I guess that increases the depth by which you can dive with the watch because there's an air buffer in there or something like that. But to combat the weird awkwardness of it, Rolex puts the word Rolex repeated over and over and over again around the inside of the rehaut. R-O-L-E-X, 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 all the way around, okay? Every one of those letters lines up with a minute marker on the dial. And that's really impressive engineering. If you ever want to spot a fake Rolex, look at the rehaut. I've never seen one, even $1,000 fake, where those letters lined up with the minute markers. That's just beyond the engineering of the people counterfeiting these watches. And maybe some of the super clones can do it. I've never seen it. The bezels, they're ceramic now. They're black and they're shiny. I prefer aluminum bezels because I like the way that they patina and wear out, but having a nice shiny bezel forever till you chip it, that's gonna be nice too. The number indicators around the bezel, in case you don't know, are indented and filled with molten platinum. That's right, it's not painted on. It's not the metal showing through under the ceramic. It is filled with platinum. No one ever talks about that. I think that's really cool. That's one of the most impressive engineering features about freaking Rolexes, that they do that. Winding and setting the watch is an absolute pleasure, and it works like the way you think a watch should work. It's clicky and it feels smooth and it's great, and it's another dead giveaway if you've ever seen a fake. I have lots of watches with NH35 movements in it. The NH35 Seiko movement is in like every micro brand watch. It's a workhorse, it's a great movement, but when I like wind or set the date on an NH35, it just always feels like it's just not gonna work or it's gonna break. Like it just doesn't click over smoothly. I don't know, it feels like rickety. It feels like an old wooden roller coaster. Like, you know, you're like, this thing's been certified. I know it's been like looked over by an expert and it's probably totally fine, but then you're like, but I know good and well that like the 4 lag bolts holding down the braces on the track, like I know not all 4 of those bolts are secure. Like one of them's a little wiggly. I just know it in my heart. It's probably okay and it's within spec. But you're like, I can feel stuff like flexing around as I ride on this roller coaster. Whenever I use like an NH35, I'm like, I kind of feel like things are flexing around. And you know, just like unscrewing the crown and screwing the crown back in, on a lot of watches that's hard to do. It just like doesn't want to engage. The threads don't want to engage. It takes you a couple turns. The Rolex just freaking, it just works every time. And it better, it's a freaking $10,000 watch. Everything on it should be perfect. And for what they design, everything on mine and all the ones I've seen, they are perfect. The freaking date disc has like 30 different fonts on it. I swear, like every number on the date disc that you see under the Cyclops looks different. I don't know how you make like whatever font they're using look so sophisticated, but it does. And when you see a fake Rolex, you can always tell with the Cyclops and the date wheel. I'm looking at mine right now. It's the 15th. Today's Father's Day. And I swear the 1 and the 5 are freaking different fonts. They're just different fonts. I don't know. It doesn't look right on any other watch. So Rolex, they got that sorted out. They got their fonts right on the date disc. Congratulations. So like the fit and finish is great. And the wearing experience is really good, with a few little caveats to that about the watch just being a little bit too big for me, but it might fit like most people. Probably doesn't, but it fits enough people, okay? I've worn this watch sitting around a pool pounding cheap beer. I've worn it wearing a tuxedo, playing classical guitar for millionaires. I've worn it at a fancy art gallery. I've worn it at a bar where I saw a fight break out. And I even wore it the other day when I sharpened a freaking lawnmower blade. This watch goes with everything, and it fits every single occasion. Yeah, it's a little boring. That's because it has to do everything. It's like vanilla ice cream. You can pair it with any flavor. You can pair it with any of the other ice cream flavors. You can mix freaking vanilla and bubblegum together and it'll work. You can mix vanilla and freaking caramel together and it works. Mix bubblegum and caramel together and tell me if that freaking works. Think of all the stories I'm gonna make with this watch over the next 40 years of my life, and then all the stories my kids are gonna make with it, and all the stories their grandkids are gonna make with it. This watch is gonna be around a long time. It's great. It's a great watch. Is it my fanciest watch? I would argue my Black Bay 58 looks fancier. It's gilt. It has a little bit more pop to it. I think the design of the Black Bay 58 just suits me a little bit better. Is it the best watch I own? Technically, I think the G-Shock Square is the best watch I own. It sets itself, it has better accuracy, it's more durable, it does more things. But this watch is a memory magnet. Good things that happen tend to stick in my brain better when I'm wearing this watch. When I see something happen, my brain just logs as like, yeah, you were wearing that Rolex when that happened. I don't know why that is. It's a psychological thing, but it does. And maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe none of this is real. Maybe I'm not even filming this video right now and it's all in my freaking head. But you know, the voices up here, they all appreciate the Rolex, okay? They like it. It's important to them. It's a conversation starter. It's a confidence booster. It's a free drink acquirer. It's a memory maker. It fulfilled my father's and my wish. So yeah, I should buy a Rolex. I did buy a Rolex. Should you? Well, let's break it down. And I've done this before. We wear watches to impress 3 groups of people. Group 1, ourselves. How does this watch make us feel? Group 2, All the normies out there that don't know anything about watches, is it going to impress them? Is it going to make an impression upon them? Are they going to want to talk to you about it? Group 3, we're talking about the watch nerds. Is it going to impress them? Do they care about it? Is this watch going to impress yourself? Well, yeah. When you wear a Rolex, you know you've made it. This fulfilled a wish. The impressivity, the impression level on this watch, the 2024 Submariner, is maximum. There is no other watch that I know of that I or you could wear that would give you those tingly feelings inside more than this watch. And I bet that's the case for 99% of people. This is the Holy Grail. I don't think it goes higher than that. Something might match it, but I don't think it goes higher. Is this going to impress the normies out there? Yeah. There's no other watch in the entire world you can buy that will impress a casual person off the street more than a Rolex. Is it going to impress watch nerds? Yeah. Every watch nerd might not love Rolex, but most watch nerds can't even afford to have a Rolex. It's going to impress them. It's high. Go on the Watch Crunch app. You see the craziest crap on there ever. Post your wrist check of a freaking Rolex. You'll just get a bunch of like 100% and crown emojis. They see it every day. Every day they see Rolexes. People are posting them every day. Tons of people have Rolexes. But you know what posting a crown emoji is? It's bending a knee to the king. The 2024 Rolex Submariner in 41 millimeters is a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece of engineering. It means a lot to me and so many different people out there. Is it perfect? No. But there's so much value in this watch beyond just the watch itself. I don't think you could ever give it anything other than a perfect score. It's a perfect score for an imperfect thing. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I am RNG. If you liked the video, do me a favor. Go down and leave me a comment. Give me a like. That's the best way to help me with the YouTube algorithm. And do that for me. Subscribe if you want to see more content. This is my fun channel. I love watches. I have another YouTube channel. You don't have to worry about that unless you like video games. But this is a pleasure for me, and I've enjoyed making this video. I hope you've enjoyed it as well.